Welcome back to the Food Forest, everybody. Today I am doing viewer vids. So this is the summer edition of viewer vids. If you want to get in on this for the fall, I'm going to do another series in the fall. So don't worry, you can still get your garden into this viewer vid series and you can show everyone your gardens. I really like this series. I think it's really important. We can learn a lot about each other's gardens just looking at your stuff. Some of you guys have amazing annual gardens, and I'm going to be picking up tips from things that you guys are doing in my annual gardens. You'll know that my channel is mostly centered around kind of ecosystem building, food forest living. My annual gardens are a very small subset of what I do. And that's on purpose because I want to get these systems established and going, and then I'll start working on the kind of that more higher maintenance things like an annual garden in more earnest in the future. But for now, I really want to get these perennial systems going. So this is actually useful to me because I can learn from you guys on your annual systems, and I absolutely have and will continue to. Now on that, I have two issues with this this series of videos. First, an apology to Zero Waste Homestead. For some reason, your video comes to me and it loads fine. It's got the audio in it, and when I load it into my editor software, for some reason it can't find the audio. So what I'm going to do is kind of type out what you're saying in your video. I apologize that your voice or there's no sound in it. One more thing, Chris had sent a video right away. As soon as I'd asked for videos for the summer edition, he'd sent one right away. Because it's been a while since I've been able to put this together, you know, get enough videos coming in that I can put a nice 10-minute series together. It had been a really long time for his garden specifically, and he shot like really early spring pretty much. So I told him to send me another clip if he wanted of, you know, his more well-developed garden, so he did that. So he has two clips in this one. I put it at the end, his second clip at the end. This isn't me playing favorites or anything like that. He's just got a really nice setup. Sorry about the noise there. He's got a really nice setup, and I really wanted to see it more developed. I wanted to see what it looks like actually right now. So thankfully he was able to do that like a one-day turnaround, and I'm going to put that into this video as well. So I won't bore you with any more talk. We'll get to everyone's gardens right away. Just want to mention that I'm sorry for like a 2-week layoff for how long it's been since the previous videos. It's just there's so much to do. Like I planted all this food so I could actually get it, and it's all coming ripe. And you really have to get it off the plants, or else the birds will get it all, or it falls on the ground and then you get fruit flies and stuff like that. So harvesting is the most labor-intensive thing in a permaculture food forest. I say it's like no work, but labor is really in the harvesting side. So I've been really busy, and with work and everything as well. My wife's in vaccination clinics right now. You know, we're just totally stressed out. Like not in a bad way, just we're stressed for time. So I'll try to get more videos out, and I make no promises. Like real life comes first, obviously. So thankfully, you know, I'm okay. So people were sending me emails, you know, asking me if I'm okay, if something happened. I think it's nice that I can actually be as reliable to that I'm continuously sending you stuff, and that you notice when I'm not here for like a week or two. I think that's fantastic. So thanks for everyone who did send me an email asking if I'm okay. I am okay. Just super busy, as you'll know if you start or already have a food forest system.
Good morning, Chris here with a late spring update on my property. Right at the west side yard. Here's my kiwis. They're doing great, and looks like it's gonna fruit this year. And down the side fence, here's potatoes. They're coming along. Grow bags and garbage bins, and do some artichokes. On the side of the house, I put up a cattle panel. I'm growing more kiwis. These are Josta berries and hazelburt, which I just planted. So we'll see how they do. Down past the crabapple. Here's one of my big cherry trees. Doing well. Planted more hazelburt. And this is the lower level. Lupins. That's multi-prune, and this is a covered hoop bed. Those are gutter beds, raspberries coming along. And as we look down, We see 3 hooped arches. They're getting established. My peas are just about ready to go up on the vine. We've got cabbage, hanging baskets, spinach and cold weather stuff inside. This side's got beans, pole beans. They're gonna climb up this thing, 16 feet in length, so lots of room to grow. On the outer edge, I've got these pollards, which are old Swedish columnar aspens. I lopped off at 7 feet. And I planted climbing sugar snap peas, pole beans, and red Malabar spinach, which should be coming up and will climb up this thing. Along the southern boundary, my bush cherries are in full bloom. Let's zoom back. Other things in full bloom. These are replants. So they're coming along. I've got grow bags with leeks, ground cherries, sunflowers, bee bombs, black-eyed Susans, and various things. Here's my herb bed, growing in pots and little grow bags. Fountain, which the birds love, with a bubbler. There's my hanging basket garden. So apricot there, it's not coming out, but I got strawberries, haskaps, the lounge area, and this is my shady spot. This is the edge of the, looking back up the west side, cherry tree there in full bloom. All right, let's continue on. Lilacs just ready to come out. Other perennials. So I've got a combination of these fruit trees, and underneath I'm planting strawberries, borage, and delphiniums, zinnias, different flowers that'll infill. Right now it's mostly dandelions. My beans are spinach are come up. This is piping for drip irrigation, which I'm going to put drip tape on each of these 4x8 beds. And there's my hothouse. This is an apple. It's set fruit, so this one's going to be loaded. So you can see this cluster, talking about thinning, I've got 5 or 6 fruits in that one bud cluster. So I'll thin those down to 2. Some other raspberries, another apple tree, and then I got a cattle panel here with thornless blackberries and golden raspberries. I also put in some elderberries, some currants, and between the beds, blueberries. This bed, I converted it to our asparagus patch, so this is my bed where I planted all those 20 asparagus. And so far I've got eight as of yesterday, 8. Let's take one quick look inside my hoop house at the ground level. Peppers, tomatoes, and there's squash and stuff down at the far end.
Good morning all of you in the north, from someone down in the south in Cape Town. I'm Jo, and I'm going to take you on a quick tour of our garden. That was our compost heap. This is our beehive. It's been a lot of fun times in the compost heap, tossing compost. It's quite satisfying actually. Didn't set out to make this into a permaculture garden. I've really just been discovering more and more about it since I've been watching sites like yours. My mission primarily was to just bring the garden back from the dead after a massive day zero drought in Cape Town ending into 2018. So I've just been concentrating on improving my soil. And as I learn more about permaculture, it really resonates with me, so I'm trying to do more of that sort of thing. There's my little apricot tree in the middle. Yeah, the lawn has been nibbled in from the edges, much to my family's dismay. But I really do want to get rid of more of it and plant it up with more clover, because that'll be great for the bees. I'm not going to really talk you through much, there's not much time, but there it is. And yeah, thank you so much, and I've really been enjoying the channel. Bye.
Hi garden friends, welcome to my Zone 5 Southern Ontario teeny tiny food forest. I'm starting with the life in the garden because that's what helps to keep the garden going and ticking and growing. So I'll give you a little tour here. Starting at the back, I have 2 apple trees trellised beside my berry patch there. I have a grapevine in the back corner. I have 2 apricots trellised and 2 plumcots trellised as well. Everybody has the protective layer of garlic surrounding them. And in the center I have this island guild with 1 peach, 1 cherry, 1 pear, and a wisteria for the nitrogen support. I also have this humongous comfrey right here, and I have another pair just there. I started mulching about 3 years, building on and supporting the life in the soil. Then I started with the trees. I'm working on the berry bushes and the ground layer this year. The bunnies have been typically just devouring the clover I put in, but I'm hoping that it will come back, and I've come to terms with the life in the garden, and I really enjoy having the bunnies and the bees and the birds visiting. Thanks for visiting too. All right, take it easy. Bye.
Hey guys, welcome to my food forest. It isn't much, but everything you see here is free. From the pots to the soil and some of the seeds. Really the only thing I've spent money on is seeds and mulch. But a lot of my mulch is free too, so there's that. It's crazy how much you can get away with in such a small space. I think I have over 81 gallons of dirt, and almost all of it's homemade. Oh yeah, I collect my own water too. With those 5-gallon buckets you see right under that table there. My most important lesson this year that I learned is that growing only salad stuff is really, really boring. Anyway, have a good day.
Driveway raspberries are coming along. I'm ready to turn my compost. Got a nice big bed. Well, I got 2 thornless blackberries and a golden raspberry coming. Can you spot the elderberry and the currants? All my grafts failed. I'll try again next year. Raspberries are just getting ready to go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I've got a robin trapped in my greenhouse. Peppers are just about ready. Tomatoes, and down at the end, lots of squash and sunflowers. Pole beans are just about at the top of my hoops. Have sunflowers everywhere. Here's my asparagus bed with some nice fronds and carrots. My pollards are getting inhabited by snap peas and beans. And here's a new grape that I just put in. Hey, the sunflower's trying to escape the hothouse, and the scarlet runners are just about ready to bloom, and the nasturtiums already are. Rhubarb, kale, onions, and sugar snap peas. Lots of beautiful hanging baskets as well. Garlic in the back, some new perennials I planted. And here's the branch I promised the grandkids so they could climb the tree. There's leeks, ground cherries, sunflowers, more sunflowers, black-eyed Susan, and the herbs. These beds got too much heat, but once I started dropping with my massive dandelion leaves, they're doing much better. Perennial transplant right in the massive heat wave. Some other transplants and bee balms finally coming to flower. Cherry bushes are pretty thick and they're starting to get ripe. The beans going up one side, hanging baskets, and snap peas on the other. Use for all those dandelions, massive ones, but chop and drop. I had my hoop bed, cabbage, broccoli, onions, radish, and some rutabagas. It's working well. Hazelnuts, Arctic kiwi, Jerusalem artichokes, late, medium, and early season potatoes. Oops, looks like they need some more water. I had to beef up the trellises for my Arctic kiwi. Coming along really nice. Here's some fruits developing. Oh, it looks like the robin's gotten out all the way down to my drip irrigation. Quickly by the fountain. Lots of wildflowers and clovers. Some more hanging baskets. And I even strung some lights. Now we got some grapes that are finally coming through. One cattle panel. And some other stuff here.